Wonderful. It looks like we are good to go. We'll give everybody a minute to kind of. Okay. Yeah, sometimes, like I said, sometimes it takes a minute for people to kind of trickle in, but we want to get started on time so you have plenty of time to do your thing. So I'll introduce myself real quick and then I'll hand it off to you guys. Hi, everyone. Hello, my name is Liz DeRozier. I'm an admissions counselor here at WPI. And thank you so much for joining us today for our one of our virtual academic department sessions. We're very, very happy that we're able to do these for you. And we have a, obviously huge thank you to our faculty and our students for going ahead and helping us out with these. And this one is for architectural engineering. So just some quick housekeeping things before I hand it over. We have, this is a webinar format, which I'm sure you're probably familiar with, but essentially you can see us, but we cannot see you. If you have any questions throughout the presentation, please use the Q&A feature. That's going to be how we answer questions. And then our lovely panelists at the end of their presentation are going to answer all of your questions. So anything that comes to mind, even if you think it's silly, I promise it's not. And yeah, so that's how this will work. And this will be about 45 minutes or so. And with that, I will hand it over to my lovely colleagues. And yes, thank you so much for being here.
All right, thank you for introduction. So hello, everyone. So my name is Xichao Liu. I'm assistant professor at architectural engineering at WPI. So today, there are two students with me. We're going to present a short introduction to this program. So I'm going to ask my students to introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Erin. I'm a senior architectural engineering major, and I also have minors in sustainability engineering and environmental and sustainability studies.
Hello, everyone. My name is Hannah. I'm also a senior architectural engineering student with minors in sustainability engineering and English.
Okay, great. So when we see this major, we always wondering, what is architectural engineering? I guess most of you have heard architecture a lot, but when we put architecture, that is art, with engineering, some people could be very confused. What are the architecture engineering do? So looking at the detail of this program, the architecture engineering, usually called AE or AREN, so is a discipline that focuses on planning, designing, construction, and operation of the buildings. So architecture engineering is quite different from civil engineering. So the both programs or both engineers can know common knowledges of structure, but civil engineers can also apply this knowledge to bridge, roads, dams, and water reservoirs, while architecture engineers mainly focus on buildings. So we build buildings. And architecture engineering have extra curriculum training, including structure engineering, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, construction, and project management. So usually architecture engineers work in integrated design teams to work together, including engineers and architects, because major work domain is architecture. So we provide consultant and also the design service to design. For example, the structure engineers in this major can help design and planning structure for the building. And mechanical engineers can work on HVAC systems to provide heating, cooling, to save our energy and maintain the comfort. So electrical engineering and also lighting engineering, fire protection engineers are also in the domain of architectural engineering. So let's show an example. So this is a landmark building in London, England. So I think this is a multi-purpose buildings when the owners or developer want to design some sort of like a fancy aesthetic buildings, and architects usually the first step to think about what is a general form and massing of buildings. So start from scratch and to get a general shape of buildings, and then the architects are going to work with engineers in a team to make the building happen. So one element is structure engineers. Structure engineering. So they design the structure systems to make the buildings can stand there for for decades or even 100 years. So that involves the facade system and also the force analysis, strain analysis of each component. So another expert of the team, including mechanical engineering, so they design the mechanical systems such as heating, ventilating, air conditioning systems, so they can develop integrated design solutions to make people comfortable and also make the building energy efficient. So this is getting more and more important during the COVID time. As we know, COVID viruses can be transmitted through the air. So how can we make the building healthier by optimizing the HVAC system, like air ventilation system, is one of the research topics and also design topics of this field. So another part of the architecture engineering is lighting design or daylighting design. So they basically design the artificial lightings and also utilize the daylight systems to make the space more appealing and also support people's work and study. In addition to those components, architecture engineers also deal with the fire protection, like the design egress and design some elements to support fire safety systems and also plumbing system, etc. And when all the design and analysis done and the project entered to the construction phases, and architecture engineers also work in project management to monitor building construction and make the building can be completed successfully. So if we think about the together of the architecture engineering, you can start use an analogy of the car. So let's say there's a customers or owner want to say, I want to build a car that can hold 6 or 5 passengers and then have 4 wheels. So then that's basically architect's job, and then move to the works of architecture engineers. What we want to do is we put all the components together and make the car can run safely on the road. So in summary, what do architecture engineers do? So the major overarching goal is to blend the fundamental principles of engineering with knowledge of all building systems, as I mentioned before. If we have the breakdown, it includes acoustics, that is acoustic engineering, and building sustainability and safety aspects. We have a lot of students are doing minor in sustainability engineering. And third one is construction management. HVAC system is part of mechanical system, plumbing, fire protection systems, lighting, electrical, and also structure systems. So there are more elements, but these 7 categories are major parts of the architecture engineering. So the major educational objectives of this architecture engineering program in the short term is to provide multidisciplinary engineering education. As we know, the disciplines are getting convergence more and more than previous days. The second one is major thing is we want to improve the people, students' problem-solving capacities, and also understand the holistic building design experience. In the long term, in WPI, we have two tracks. The one is mechanical, the other one is structural engineering. And in the long term, we want our students can specialized in 1 or 2 areas. So let's overview the program of architectural engineering at WPI. The program is designed based on ABAT criteria for architecture engineering. So ABAT is an acronym of Accreditation Board for Engineering and Technology. And the current WPI architectural engineering curriculum focus on structure and also mechanical systems. And in addition to those 2, we have introduced the 5 design studios that will expose students to a lot of architectural design experience. So if your career goal is engineering, but you also have a passion in architecture, So this is the right program for you. And one of the strengths of WPI is to integrate theory and practice, and the curriculum of this program also follow this philosophy. So the architectural engineering is ABET criteria, ABET program, and at WPI, this program is the only one program in New England and one of the 20 ABET architectural engineering programs in the United States. So the ABET degree is required if you want to get a professional engineer license. So the January roadmap for P or professional engineer is you first get a accredited degree like in WPI here, and then after working a few years, you can take some exams and to apply for the final licensure certificate. So let's look at a detailed curriculum of this program at WPI. So WPI is quarter or is term based. So every year have 6 terms, 2 terms for summer and 2 terms for spring and 2 terms for fall. Usually most of the courses are concentrated in spring and fall. So in total, there are going to be 6 units to graduate, and each term or like each 1 quarter of the year is 1 unit. So it's 4 by 4, that's 16 units. With the 16 unit, architectural engineering requires 15 units to graduate. So you have 1 more unit to select some other courses you are interested. So to look at the breakdown of all the units, so the first year, that's 4 units. Each unit, as I said, is 1 term. So the 4 units in the first year focuses on the basic math, science, and supplemental science. And then we move to the second year and third year and fourth year, mainly focus on architectural engineering. So that's going to be 7 units for the program. And this 7 units can be further break down to introduction to architectural systems and some very fundamental overview of the program, and also the building electrical lighting system on here, and plus architectural design studios. As I said, we have 5 design studios, including lighting, envelope, and also building energy simulation. And then look at on the right, we have the building mechanical systems courses, including HVAC systems and building physics. So the first column is mainly focused on the structural engineering, such as analytical mechanics, design of the concrete structure, and also on the right is 5 is construction project management. So these are 7 units of architectural engineering, and there are 4 units is additional to support the program, such as humanities and arts and social science. So as I said, the WPI focuses on the theory and practice, and we learn some other social courses that can be linked better to the real application or society. So this is the 7 units, all the courses for the 7 units. Just a reminder that 1 course is corresponding to 1/3 unit. So 7 units, so it's equivalent to 21 courses. So this is a breakdown, is just have a a clear view of all courses, starting from the architectural engineering introduction, construction, mechanical, structural, electrical systems. And I want to emphasize the design studios, because there's a lot of our students have the passion in architecture as well. So they want to be engineer, but some also want to be architects at some point, or want to have experience in both disciplines. It's sort of like when engineering meets arts. So there are 5 studios plus MQP. I'll talk about MQP shortly. So the Design Studio 1, that is a basic CAD, is a computer aided design. And the second one is about lighting system. And third one is mainly the BIM. BIM is building information modeling. Most of design firms or design practice rely on this techniques or softwares to design buildings that can provide integrated design among different disciplines. And the first Design Studio is building energy simulation that supports the sustainability of the building and also to help the design to achieve net zero or even positive energy design. And the last Design Studio is building envelope that including thermal analysis of the envelope and also the energy part of the entire building as well. So in addition to the 5 studios, the MQP, the major qualifying project, is sort of is equivalent to the undergraduate graduation thesis. And in this thesis, there will be intensive design elements as well. So mainly focus on structure and mechanical. And so that is a 6th part of the course or project that can contribute to design. This is one thesis or MQP project of previous students. In this project, the transition session is designed in this project to connect 2 buildings on campus. One building is a Kevin Hall, that is the home building of the architectural engineering, and another building is the library on the campus. So if you this red part is the Kevin Hall, and this is a new building, and this is just a rendering of the designed section of the transition building of the 2 campus buildings. So another example of the MQP project is greenhouse design in a community garden. Usually our MQP is funded by some local funders, local sponsors, or some sponsors out of country. So, and many projects can be real projects. Some could be implemented in real, not only focused on the design phase or on the paper level. So this is some, like this is a thing that at the end of the class, and also for the project at the end of MQP, we invited external reviewers to review the students' work, to provide their comments and connect to the field. So this is just show this again, and for building mechanical system, including HVAC system design, and building energy simulation studio, mainly simulate what is the energy performance of the design and what would be the final carbon footprint of the building. And envelope design studio look at the thermal and also the construction of the envelope, and also facade design. Okay, so just to show some example, what is a detailed software and other, how the course will look like for each class. And put this together, this is all the curriculum of this program. And students need to take this whole courses before graduation. And in addition to these courses, and students usually work in group to design a final project before graduation. That is major qualifying project, MQP. So we embedded the philosophy of theory and practice in the design, and this is the one MQP project as their thesis is solar decathlon in China. So solar decathlon is the initiative by Department of Energy. So they want to design a building with energy efficiency and also comfort. So this is a real building. They have attended the competition and they developed building in China and also present to stakeholders in the local city. So there are more pictures, and you can see students travel to China and do some hands-on stuff in addition to design. So another project is solid decathlon, same concept, but in Africa. I think it's in Morocco, 2019, is before COVID. So they have designed these Oculus-shaped buildings and ship some materials and components to Morocco and assemble there. In addition to, I think most of the projects in our field focus on building design, but there are some students who work a lot with fire protection engineering. That is another program at WPI. So MQP projects can be sponsored by different programs, different majors. Some students are specifically interested in, for example, fire protection engineering. So this is a one MQP project. Let's look at different materials and of different construction of the envelope, and they simulated and also tested what is the fire resistance of the envelope design in a real fire chamber. So at WPI, there is a facility that you can basically burn furniture, burn a small house in the facility. Another project was designing a thermal storage system, and idea is to use solar energy and store energy to provide the heating to a trailer. So this could be a small house in your yard, and using just the solar energy, and this small trailer can stay relatively comfortable condition in Worcester. You can imagine there are a lot of cold days, but using just the solar energy can support enough heating. So as I mentioned, that a lot of projects can go beyond the paper, beyond the computer. So this is an excellent example demonstrating that how students' design can be implemented in reality. And one team have designed a bridge. It is a bridge in Elm Park. I think this is just 1 mile or less than 1 mile away from WPI campus. So they analyzed the structural system bridge and also built them, and it's there. If you have a chance to go to Elm Park, you can see this bridge. So this is the term schedules. And WPI have very fast speed courses. Each course is only have 7 weeks, so less than 2 months. So if you look at the term schedules, we have 4 years, and each year have 4 terms. A and B are for fall term, and C and D are for spring term. So each term, the standard number of courses is 3 courses, but some students can take more than 3 courses to overload a little bit. And so in addition to the course curriculums, we have MQP, as I mentioned that, and also IQP. What is IQP? IQP is Interactive Qualifying Project. So the idea of the IQP is to train the students to work the people in different disciplines, such as social science and psychology and others. And the students in a group have different backgrounds. So maybe the team member is from social science or from economy. So they work together and to work on some real problem. For example, how can we help people or disadvantaged people to have clean water? How can we help the park redesign the pavement, redesign the some facilities? And a lot of IQP projects are not necessarily focusing on the program itself. It could be something that is so much different from the architecture, engineering, or others. And additionally, students are encouraged. Most students have experience of the co-op. The co-op is basically you can understand as is longer term or more intensive engagement with a company or firms as an internship opportunity. And the co-op experience can span 1 term plus the entire summer. So 1 term is 2 months and summer is 3 months, going to be 4 or 5 months for working intensively with a company. Usually the co-op experience can help students to get a job. And so for co-op, usually we have 1 course, each course is 3 credit hours. So the commitment of co-op each term or each semester is I think this is each term is 3 credit hours. It's equivalent to 1 course. So if you are doing co-op while taking classes in regular academic period, but for summer can be more intensive. Okay, and so this is a template of the whole schedule putting together. Just one example, and IQP. That's a project for 1 entire term, and a lot of students are not, not study at WPI for IQP. They travel to different places across the country or go to different countries. So this is one example. You can see in the first year a lot of basic courses, including math and chemistry and physics. And then move to second to the first year are more intensive in architectural engineering courses and also IQP and also MQP at the end of the, usually start from the first year of the senior year and then across the 3 terms or 4 terms. Okay, so the last slide I want to share about the curriculum is the opportunity to have 5 years bachelor and master degree. So I would say a few students would go to the 5th year to have a master degree in fire protection engineering. So the fire protection engineering is also quite popular at WPI, and a lot of students have passion in architecture engineering, also want to learn more about fire protection because especially during these days there are a lot of the wildfire happening. Okay, so what are the opportunities for our graduate students, for our students who graduate? And most of the students go to architectural firms, engineering firms, or architectural engineering firm specifically. Some students go to environmental design, environmental consultants firm, or design lighting, HVAC, and facade engineering. So it's a multiple choices because architecture engineering includes multidisciplinary studies. So students also apply or do minors, including mechanical sustainability. I think Hannah and Erin here are both doing minor in sustainability engineering. So some students go to graduate school, and we have our students very competitive in top universities, including Berkeley, Stanford, and others. So the internship and co-op, our previous students went to SGH, AREP, and others, and most of them end up with working there, as formal employees. So at the end, just want to let you know that in this class, we also invite some guest lecturers who are usually the leaders or top designers or have been working this field for a while, and they give a lecture and to just show what is a what's going on in the field, not only focus on the papers and the textbooks. I think that's all I have. Thank you much. And I think we can answer some of your questions. Okay. While we're waiting, I think we can have Hannah and Aaron share their idea or thoughts about this program, and when more questions come up, and we can answer them.
Yeah, so just in terms of why I chose this major and where it kind of started, just in general, I was always interested in art and sort of the planning and design, the methodical aspects of that. And I also really, really liked math. So I thought this was a beautiful meld of sort of the two things I kind of gravitated towards in comparison to just doing like civil engineering or solely architecture. And I was also kind of interested in community and human perspective. And I think buildings sort of epitomized that in terms of how we are affected by the built environment. Like I said, I did kind of lean towards civil and environmental for a bit in the beginning where I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. But I think the design studios definitely convinced me, as I wanted more of a creative liberty. And I also, like I said, I kind of gravitated towards an architecture route as well, but I wanted to understand more than just aesthetic design. And I kind of wanted to understand the systems behind them and all the aspects of the building itself. So I think this major really helped in terms of fully encompassing all the different systems in terms of like lighting and structural mechanical. And I think we have a great basis going forward. Like, I think what drew me in was that we are able to sort of go into other interests. So like construction management, like mentioned before, there's construction management, there's fire protection. We get into HVAC, there's engineering, there's lighting, there's sustainability, there's architecture, and there's landscaping. So I think there's just a lot you can learn in this major that encompasses all around building and other aspects of environment and people and the human sort of area as well. So that's sort of where I found myself and why I like this major.
Yeah, I'd have to say the same for me as well. Aaron hit a lot of stuff on the head with what made me interested in architectural engineering. I came in, I applied to WPI as an aerospace engineer. That quickly I found out was not for me. Then I switched to physics, and then I found myself in architectural engineering. And like Aaron said, it's like the perfect mix between using creative ideas in your creative side of your brain and the more mathematical and engineering side, which is super cool. I think also what you find in such a small major is that there's a lot of, even though we're growing, of course, it's still small, and there's such an attention that you have and a relationship that you build with the professors in your major. Like you know them for several years, and then it's very easy for you to find out who will be your advisors for your MQP. Aaron and I are on the same MQP, and because we have a similar interest along with our third partner in sustainability and helping the environment, we're focusing our MQP on doing a LEED certification plan for a WPI building. And we were able to design that and come up with it all on our own, which is something that is an option with this major.
Great. So we have some questions that I can try to answer that. So Aaron and Hannah, feel free to chime in for the questions. So the first question is it possible to major in architecture, then minor in fire protection? I think the answer is no, because fire protection engineering, they have graduate program, but not undergraduate program.
I will say, Shisha, sorry on that. I looked it up on the WPI website, and it does say that they do offer a fire protection engineering minor. It's listed on WPI's website.
I believe that just happened this year.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know. I'm sorry. So that's that's all the information I had. Okay, goodness, students are more helpful in this. Yes. The question, sorry about that. The answer is yes. Yeah, you can do major in architecture engineering and minor in fire protection engineering. Second question is, in addition to CAD, is Revit part of architectural engineering program? Yes, we use Revit a lot. For design studios, we use intensively. And the third question, how many hours of week is class time and lab? So I think this is a little bit, it depends on what type of classes. So for design studios, for example, so for design studio, we have a class about 12 hours. We meet 3 times. Each time is 4 hours. So basically 12 hours, and within 12 hours, the lecture would be 20 to 30%, and the rest time is studio. The studio is similar to lab, but we do computerized lab. So we run simulation, we design stuff on the computers, and the faculty instructors just to go to table by table and give your suggestions. It's sort of like coaching process. But if you look at other courses for some math intensive, the building physics. So most of the classes, most of the time is lecture time and examples and assignments, problem solving. But there are some lab elements and for final projects. So each students in group, they're gonna submit, maybe measure the equipment, use equipment to measure some building related parameters, for example, the heat flux, what is the insulation level of the buildings, and then turn in, give a presentation or give a poster presentation as end of course. So it depends. And I guess I hope I answer a question. So next one is it required to have a portfolio in order to apply? To my knowledge, no, we don't need a portfolio to apply. When you apply to WPI, and maybe Hannah and Aaron can explain more about this, the whole application process.
I can too. You guys want me to do it since I'm in admissions?
Yeah,
Would that
sure,
be easier?
sure, yeah.
That'd be
Just so
great.
that
It's been a
so
long
you guys,
time.
yeah. Wait, say that again.
It was a long time ago.
Oh, I know. Well, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, I could probably do it. Sorry, everyone. I didn't mean to chime in here. But no, I did want to let everybody know out there that you do not need to submit any sort of a portfolio or anything like that. Because when you're applying to WPI, you're applying to WPI as an institution. You're not applying to a specific program. So even though you might put on your application, you want to study architectural engineering, that's awesome if you know that's what you want to do, but you do not have to actually declare a major until you get to WPI after your freshman year, because you're taking a good amount of classes. You have an idea at that point of most likely what you want to study. And so, yeah, you do not need to know right away. We actually have 20% of our students enroll fully undecided. So even if you know that you have an interest in architectural engineering, you're actually ahead of the game. So that's great. Yeah, that's what I would say. Hopefully that answers your question. But yeah, there's no other extra recommendation, or excuse me, there's no other like extra things we need. It's strictly just the application process because everybody is applying to WPI, not to a specific program.
Yeah, great. So just to let you know, many students in our program have transferred from a different program. So like Hannah was studying aerospace and then mechanical, and then end up with architecture engineering. So, I think as a high school students, somehow is very hard to define what is a career would be. So I think that's one of the advantages of WPI. You apply to institute and you learn some program, and if it doesn't work, you can transfer to a different one. Okay.
I think also for architecture engineering, you can minor in it. So you could always start thinking you want to minor in it and you have those credits and you can build that up. And then if you decide you want to major in it, then you have that backing. So that's also something helpful.
Yeah. So the next question is, what is the acceptance rate for the architectural program for WPI? So I don't have this number. Maybe Liz, do you have?
I think Liz confirms that there's no rating for that because people are only applying to WPI, not to the architectural engineering program. So there's no number for that. It's only the acceptance rate at WPI.
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you, Hannah. Yeah, exactly. So there's no acceptance rate specifically for the architecture program. It's WPI. Our acceptance rate last year overall was a little under 49%. So that's kind of where we're at. So either way, like Hannah said, you do not need to apply to the specific program, and that's our acceptance rate overall.
Yeah, great. I think we answered all the questions.
Yeah, I think you did, which is great. That's perfect. Yes. Oh, we got one more.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. What is the usual class size for classes in this major? We in total have 86 students, like 4 years. And the class size usually is, if you use average, is about 22 to 25, but some students, some courses can be end up with 27. And I taught some courses with 7 students. That's a class size. But I would say depends on the schedule, because we don't specify the order of the courses, and we recommend order, but students want to take this course earlier than other. So then could end up with some courses be less popularized, maybe 7, and some could be 28. So usually for this major, we don't have more than on average more than 30 students, but during some logistics, I think last year I have a class, so that's a lot of the course I taught is 36 students. Yeah.
That's awesome. Great. Well, thank you all so much for being here. If anyone out there has any more questions, please feel free to email us just at admissions@wpi.edu. Oh, we got another one.
Oh.
Hold on. All right. I think it's an admissions question, so I can answer it. For the admissions process, is there a higher chance to get accepted if you apply early decision or early action? Wonderful question. Yes and no is the answer to that. So essentially what I mean is if you apply early in general, statistically, you have a better chance of getting into the institution. That's just kind of how the numbers have looked over the past, however many years that I've worked here. And it's, we're very fortunate that we don't have to, worry about that. So we're able to go ahead and, our students are able to go ahead and apply early and not have to worry about, so on and so forth. I know it's a little bit of a weird answer. I apologize. But essentially, early action and early decision, there is a better chance that you will be accepted at that point in time. We are accepting more students in the early rounds. The no to that is that there's actually 2 rounds of each. I know that's really confusing. We have 2 rounds of early action and 2 rounds of early decision. And this is all on our website as well. I want to make sure that you all understand that there's no difference between early action 1 and 2 and early decision 1 and 2. So they're the exact same thing. If you are applying early action 1, early decision 1, the deadline is November 1st, and early action and early decision 2, the deadline is January 15th. So you have, whatever works best for you is kind of how it works. So that's the answer to that. And it looks like, Shisha, it looks like you have one more question on here.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I did the difference between civil and architectural engineering. Okay. So I have one more slide as a backup, so because there's a common question we received before. So the similarities. So both share some tasks like planning, designing, building structures, and both work with architects. And the courses training have overlap about 30 to 40%. So some courses, structuring system have architecture engineering students and also civil engineering students. So the major difference is what is an application domain? For civil engineers, they usually work to design and construct the typically large-scale projects like bridge, airports, water supply systems, maybe a dam, and public infrastructure, road. We have pavement engineering, and that is a part of civil engineering. But architecture engineers specifically looking at the buildings. So whatever relate to buildings can be the domain of this program, such as how to design if energy efficient facade that can have energy efficient, can save energy and also make people comfortable. What is a mechanical system to maintain temperatures and good air quality, and acoustics, lighting, fire protection. So in summary, it's just a domain. For architectural engineers, we look at buildings, both residential buildings like houses or commercial buildings, could be hospital, or it could be a school or library, or even a skyscraper. So that's a major difference. And 30 to 40% are common, but there are another, let's say 70 or 60% of courses, architectural engineering, including envelope design, like HVAC systems, lighting, and etc. So, but main discipline or main courses support design and also the engineering related to buildings. So you can understand other ways, building engineers or building engineering. I think this is going to be easier to understand. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And I'm actually going to put the admissions email in the chat right now for everyone, just in case you have any other questions. Also, please feel free to check out our other virtual opportunities and feel free to reach out to us if you need some help finding those. But I want to say a huge thank you again to Xichao and Hannah and Erin, and really just thank you so much for being here and helping us out in teaching prospective students about WPI. With that, I will sign off here. Thank you so much to everyone out there, and we hope to see you on campus soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Take
You
care.
too.